In question 14, we're given three fractions and we have to order them smallest to largest or smallest to biggest. Now, if you notice, the top part is bigger than the bottom part. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. So this fraction here is an improper fraction. So let's write that down. So you have 6/5, and the top part is called a numerator, and the bottom part is called a denominator. Now, if you have this type of fraction, it's called an improper fraction. And with these two fractions, because the numerator is smaller than the denominator, the top number is smaller than the bottom number, this is called a proper fraction. Now, I can tell straight away from these three, because this is the only fraction where the numerator is bigger than the denominator, this is my largest fraction. So I can write that here, 6/5. Now I need to decide which of these two is bigger. So let me write 3/5 here. We're going to do this two ways. I want you to recall the fact that 1/5 is 0.2. So 3/5 will be 0.2 add 0.2 add 0.2. So that's what 3/5 will be. So if I add these together, let me line up the decimal point very carefully. 2, 4, 6, and 0 add 0 add 0 is simply 0. So I know 3/5 is 0.6. Now the other way I can do this is using the bus shelter method. So let me write 3/5 here. It's raining and the 3 is getting wet, so we're going to build it a bus shelter here. So the 3 has to go inside. Now because the 3's gone inside, the 5 has to go outside. Now everything is in its right place. Now because I know I'm going to have a decimal, I'm going to put a decimal point there and just above it. This lines everything up nicely, and I'm going to put 1 0 for when I carry over things. Now how many 5s are there in 3? There's none. So put a 0 there, and this 3 I carry over. So now this 0 has become 30. How many 5s are there in 30? There's 6. So let me do my 5 times tables quickly. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's where that 6 comes from. Because I've got no remainders, I can stop. So I now know 3/5 as a decimal is 0.6. So I know 3/5 is 0.6. So let me write that here. Now I need to figure out what 3/4 is. Again, the two roots, I need to recall the fact that 1/4 as a decimal is 0.25. And you have to recall that. And I want 3/4, so I want 3 of these. So I want 0.25, add 0.25, add 0.25. Now I'm going to carefully line up the decimal point there. 5 add 5 is 10, add 5 more is 15. So I put 5 here and I carry the 1 over. 2 add 2 is 4, add 2 is 6. Plus this 1 I've carried over is 7. And finally, 0 add 0 add 0 is simply 0. So my answer is 0.75. Now I can use the bus shelter here. 3/4. So it's raining. The 3 is getting wet, so I'm going to build a bus shelter. The 3 goes inside, so the 4 has to go outside. So now I'm going to put a decimal point here and 1 straight above it to line everything up. And I'll add 1, 2 zeros. So let me just extend this. Now, how many 4s are there in 3? I can't get a 4. So I carry this 3 over to the next column. So now you have to look at this. This becomes 30. So how many 4s are there in 30? And if you know your 4 times table, this is much easier. So let me do my 4 times table. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. And I can stop there because I've only got 30. So how many 4s are there in 30? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I've used 28, but I had 30. How many have I got left? So if I count up from 28 to 30, I've got 2 left. So the 2 I have to carry over to this 0. There. So now this is 20. How many 4s are there in 20? So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 4s in 20. And because there's no remainder, I can stop there. So my answer is 0.75. It's exactly the same as this. So 3/4 is 0.75. Now I've got 2 decimals I can make a comparison. So 0.6 and 0.75. Now to help me, I can add an extra helper 0 here. This hasn't changed the value, it's exactly the same. But if you're careful now, because these 2 are the same, I can hide these. And if you look, the top number you can read as 60 and the bottom number you can read as 75. And we know 75 is bigger. So we know this, which is 3/4, is bigger. So we can write 3/4 here. And then that leaves only one fraction, which is 3/5. So these 3 fractions in order, smallest to largest, is 3/5, 3/4, and 6/5.